Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to the Cruise News. Today we're going to start off talking about Norwegian Cruise Lines, because this past Saturday afternoon, Norwegian had what can only be described as a oh ship kind of moment. And I said ship, just to be clear, but it had an oh ship moment. So the Norwegian Prima was tied up in Zeeburg. I'm going to say that's how you pronounce it, but that's probably wrong. But Zeeburg, Belgium. Big gust of wind came in, picked up real quickly, hit the side of the ship, and snapped the mooring lines holding the ship on the dock. They snapped up there at the bow. The bow began to drift away from the dock. There were two gangways out at the time there on the Norwegian Prima. Well, she pulled enough away from the dock that pulled both those gangways and dropped them straight into the harbor. Now, the Norwegian Prima was able to kick on her bow thrusters, and a couple of tugboats jumped in. They got her pushed back to the dock and re-secured. They put new gangways out, and people were able to resume boarding back on board the ship. Now, when this happened, nobody was on the gangways. No crew members, no passengers, so there's no reports of any injuries other than the two gangways that are currently in the bottom of the harbor. Now, recovery efforts are underway to collect up those two gangways so they don't present a hazard in the future to any other cruise ships. But all the passengers were able to re-embark on the ship. She left on schedule and continued with their voyage. Just one of those freak accidents that occasionally you hear about, that if a strong enough gust of wind comes, hits that flat side of those cruise ships, and every once in a while, they'll snap those moorings. Now, they're still going to do an investigation on it. You know, why did the rope snap? Was there an issue? Was there a problem? They're going to check into all of that. But the most important takeaway is nobody was hurt. Nobody was injured. There was no cruise interruption. No damage to the ship. Like I said, just the loss of the two gangways. But can you imagine you're walking back to your ship. You've just had a great day in Belgium. And you know you got plenty of time. And suddenly you see your ship drifting off. You know, maybe you had an oh ship moment thinking you missed the ship. But wasn't anything like that, and everybody got back on safely. Now, I got a question. Are you a fan of the Hallmark Channel? Do you like those Christmas movies that the Hallmark Channel puts out every year? I can tell you, Tiffany is a big fan of those. As soon as those Hallmark movies start hitting right after Halloween, boy, I guarantee you she is watching the Hallmark Channel when she sits down to watch TV. That is just one of her favorite things. Well, if you are a fan of the Hallmark Channel, a fan of those always happy ending Christmas movies, well, Norwegian and Hallmark Channel are teaming up for a Hallmark Christmas cruise. So, sailing from Miami on board the Norwegian Gem, November the 5th through the 9th, 2024 is going to be the Hallmark Christmas cruise. It's a pretty short cruise. It's just going to be one port stop in Nassau and 2 full days at sea. Some of the Hallmark Channel stars are going to be on board the ship. They're going to have panel discussions, photo opportunities. There's going to be a tree lighting ceremony, and the movies on board the ship are going to be a Hallmark movie, kind of a movie marathon is going to be played on board the ship, including a brand new movie premiere that's going to be shown in the main theater. So a brand new Hallmark movie is going to be shown in the main theater. So if you're a fan of Hallmark and want to take yourself a Hallmark cruise, you got a little over a year to get yourself booked on the Norwegian Gem. All right, so we did a video a little while ago talking about Carnival Cruise Lines that were bringing out new main dining room menus. They were testing them on board the Carnival Dream. Well, they have completed the testing and they're going to begin rolling them out fleet-wide. Now, the Carnival Conquest is going to be the first ship after the Breeze to get the new menus, and they actually received the new menus yesterday. And that's going to be followed by the Carnival Horizon, and then over the next couple months, it's going to be the Carnival Sunshine, the Carnival Vista, the Carnival Radiance, and the Carnival Mardi Gras are going to be the next ones to receive it. Now, they're going to roll this out fleet-wide, so all the ships are going to get it. They're just not all getting it at the exact same time. But look forward to new menus on board Carnival if you haven't already tried them on the Carnival Dream. Now, yesterday morning, Virgin Voyages the Scarlet Lady pulling into Miami. Well, she too had an oh ship kind of moment when unfortunately she made contact with one of the dock mooring dolphins. Now, if you're not familiar with a mooring dolphin, it's one of the freestanding extensions on the dock that they use to tie up the ship. Apparently there was a miscalculation and she did collide with the mooring dolphin. Now this resulted in a dent on the aft part of the ship. Apparently it also punctured the hull right above the waterline, and this resulted in a little bit of a delay. Now the crew jumped right on repairs, began making repairs all throughout the day, but they were able to get the repairs done. The U.S. Coast Guard cleared them for departure, and they were able to depart a little after 12:30 a.m. So, a little over 6-7 hours worth of a delay, but they were still able to resume cruising. Okay, now, I think I misspoke here at the beginning of the video. This didn't occur yesterday. This occurred Sunday morning. So, 2 days ago that this incident actually occurred. And then it was about 12:30 a.m. early Monday morning when they were finally able to set sail. So pretty quick work of, like I said, the crew and some contractors there in Miami. They were able to get her seaworthy again. Like I said, cleared by the Coast Guard. I mean, you can see from the pictures, they even managed to get a little bit of red paint on it to make it look, less noticeable. So pretty good job. They get out. Very little effect to the passengers on board. Just a couple hours delay from Miami. Should not affect the cruise and should not affect any further sailings for the Scarlet Lady. So good news for everybody booked on Virgin. And it's kind of a different comparison to a similar incident just happening to the Ruby Princess, where she was delayed for a few days before she was cleared by the Coast Guard and ended up with a very dramatic change in her cruise itinerary. So good work to the folks there in Miami, getting the Scarlet Lady back out to sea as quickly as possible. And that's going to be your cruise news for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.